And welcome to Riverton High School for a Game Night Live Rewind Game of the Week. Dusty Litster with you. Baseball season underway. Maybe baseball season, but it is basketball weather. As we got, hopefully we'll get ahead of weather today. But Riverton taking on American Fork, a top 5 matchup coming in to this week. Riverton had a tough loss against Layton in a game that got broken up because of weather, so hopefully we're able to get through today. But it is a rematch of the last chance tournament championship game. And of course, American Fork took that last year, and without baseball being finished and played, we had the last chance tournament in June, and American Fork won that tournament. And not only that, they even they haven't put a banner, but they put a championship year on their in their gym. So if that means anything, then hopefully it does. For Riverton today, the starting pitcher, Sam Beck, young man committed to Brigham Young University. We saw him last summer for Coach Jay Applegate and the Silver Wolves. He's a blast to watch. Sam, a very strong pitcher. Fastball, breaking ball. Finds his locations, keeps the ball off the barrel of the bat, and he has to do that today when taking on the American Fork Cavemen. And they are led by a name that you will know very, very well, Fisher Ingersoll, young man that tore it up on the football field. Well, right now he is committed to play baseball for Coach Mike Littlewood and BYU. It's the second baseman, but he is one of the best baseball players in the state of Utah. It's going to be a blast to be able to watch him today, and also be able to watch this potent American Fork lineup as Coach Ingersoll, one of the best coaches in the state of Utah, and one of the best coaches in the history of the state of Utah as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Hope you're able to sit back and enjoy a little cold day here in Riverton, but be able to stay warm and dry and be able to watch some baseball here on KSLSports.com. As always, Game Night Live Rewind brought to you by the Utah Army National Guard. Over $20,000 in a signing bonus for job training opportunities. If you want to see the opportunities that you can go into, if it's engineering, even medical, go to nationalguard.com to learn more and find out which jobs get you up to $20,000 in a signing bonus. We start first with Robinson. Stepping in against Sam Beck. And first pitch just a bit outside. A little up and out. And that one finds the strike zone for Sam Beck. Mentioned Beck not going to overpower you with the fastball. Is location, up, down, in and out, and then mixing that breaking ball in to stay ahead and get ahead of hitters and keep that bat slow. Inside and finds the zone. Paints that inside corner. Count now moves to a ball and 2 strikes. And now the 1-2. Again, misses up and out. Early in the year and it's cold. You see these guys find that location is going to be a task in the least, as that one is bounced in there as the count now runs full. Wind blowing from right field to left field. The payoff pitch, breaking ball swung on and missed, and back with his first K of the day. It's a nice job of battling through a little bit of location stuff, trying to hit that outside corner with the fastball. But earns the first out. Is now digging in is Fisher Ingersoll, the shortstop for the Cavemen. Bouncer to the right side, handled cleanly, and on to Beck for the second out of the inning. Nice job there by Mac Bright of fielding his position. And Beck early in the year getting over for the coverage, as there's now 2 away for American Fork. So now coming up is Easton Jones, the third baseman. And Beck locating that breaking piece on the outer half. The 0-1. Again, breaking ball finds the outside part of the plate. Count now 0-2. Got one to burn here. No balls and 2 strikes. I can see a breaking ball down and away. He bounces it. He's been able to hit this right side of the plate with a right-handed or left-handed hitter here in the first inning. See if he stays there. I go down away with some heat. Slowed the bat down with the breaking balls. See if he speed it up, either go down away or come up and in. Again, breaking ball in there, called strike 3. Terrific start of the afternoon for Sam Beck as we head to the bottom of the first inning. It's a 1-2-3 inning. Beck with 2 Ks. You're watching Game Night Live Rewind, Game of the Week on KSLSports.com. Now, welcome back to Riverton, bottom of the first inning. Our first chance to see the Riverton Silverwolves, but on the hill for Coach Jared Ingersoll. Mr. Carpenter. Caden Carpenter, big left-handed pitcher, an outstanding hitter as well. But leading off for Riverton is the pitcher, Sam Beck. And misses down and away, especially early in the year. These big, powerful pitchers makes it so difficult on the hitters. See if he tries to work this ball in, as it is pretty cold here at Riverton, and a strong wind as well, as Beck chops this one up the middle, handled cleanly, and Robinson got it there just in time as Beck retired for the first out. Baseball, one of those games that it seems really easy, but when you're cold, all of a sudden that ball is hitting, you got to range one way or the other. A little tougher than you think. You get stiff out there. So Beck retired for the first out, and that brings up Parker Goff. And Goff swings through that one. 0-1. And Caden Carpenter, the big man. The 0-1 misses down and away. Count even at a ball and a strike. The biggest thing for Riverton hitters, be patient. You want to work your way into a count. Make Carpenter work in this cold weather. The 1-1, foul back to the screen. These two had a fun game. We talked about that last chance tournament. Their first time they met up in the pool play portion was one of the highest scoring games we had of that tournament. AF had hit a couple of bombs in the first inning, and then Riverton came storming back. It was 8-0. Riverton came back, made it 8-6 before AF pulled away. And then Riverton went through the loser bracket to get all the way to the championship. As that one bounced on a swinging third strike. So Goff will get a board on the swinging third strike, but the wild pitch is going to put him on first base. So the first K of the day for Carpenter. But we're going to go wild pitch and a runner on first base. So runner on and one out. And that brings up Caden Miller, the center fielder. As we have a speed-up runner going to run for Parker Goff. That's Applegate. So runner on first, one out. Double play ball in order here for American Fork. With Goff reaching on the swinging third strike as Carpenter comes back and finds his own for strike one. So corners up, middle's back. See if Coach Applegate puts Applegate in motion. A lot of times early in the year, left-handed pitcher, you don't see a lot of movement out of first base. As has a big swing on the high cheese, and it's now 0-2. And a quick hole here for Caden Miller. See if he keeps that elevated fastball. Goes down and away, and Miller able to stay alive. And we talk about pitch mix. I had a good friend of mine who's a very good umpire in the state of Utah. That was a college catcher, talked about all the time. Calling games is more about just picking the best pitches. It's working up, down, and in and out, moving the eye level of your hitters. And you certainly see it there, high cheese, then come back with the down and away. Miller able to get to that pitch. See if he elevates it again. And the Andy Pettit move to first. Back safely is Miller. Pardon me, is Applegate. And this one chopped back up the middle. Ingersoll to Robinson, and it's a 6-4-3 double play. As a swinging third strike reaching first is not hurt. The Cavemen, we head to the top of the first inning. We are tied at 0. You're watching Game Night Live Rewind, Game of the Week on KSLSports.com.
First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might, and the Army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won, and the Army goes rolling along.
Black Clover is the official outfitter of Deseret News Rewind. Get 20% off any order on blackcloverusa.com by using the code DNR20 at checkout. And if you want to feel the clothes, get an in-person shopping experience, go to their store just off the 123rd South exit in Draper next to the water park. Again, go to blackcloverusa.com, use the code DNR20 at checkout, and get 20% off any order from Black Clover.
Top of the second inning. Dusty Litster with you. Game Night Live Rewind. Game of the Week. Riverton and American Fork, 2 top 5 teams in the 6A classification. I mentioned the championship game of the Last Chance tournament. The first live sporting event, I think it might have been in the country. It was the only live sporting event going on in June, especially in the state of Utah. End of June, end of May, beginning of June, yeah. There's Vince Francis on the camera, and also hopefully getting some help from our intern Preston, the Transition Sports. But the top of the second inning, and Sam Beck find the zone for called strike one as Caden Carpenter steps in, the pitcher for American Fork. That ball hit well into right center field, and Carpenter getting around first, heading into second. He might even have a chance for a triple here as Carpenter around second, heading into third. The throw is not going to be in time, and that's a leadoff triple for Caden Carpenter. Talked about at the beginning, that junior, he has got quite the pop in his bat. He's got some speed as well. So a runner on third for American Fork. Most exciting play in baseball, a triple. As that brings up Easton Whitaker. I think you'll notice American Fork, they have more left-handed batters. And we said this last summer than any lineup. Year over year, Coach Jared Ingersoll does such a great job of this program. And this ball hit well in the center field. Doing his job is Carpenter going to tag and come. The throw is going to be offline, and that's a sacrifice fly, bringing in the first run. And that's an RBI for Easton Whitaker. As it's AF 1-0 here in the top of the second inning with one away. And that's a called strike one on Easton Welling. And Beck misses on that one. Count runs even, 1-1. And Beck misses inside. 2 balls and a strike. Saw Beck early in that first inning. Had a battle back after some control issues, able to do that. Found that pitch right there. He's worked the right side of the plate extremely well, especially with that breaking ball. Count now even at 2-2. See if he stays away here. The 2-2, breaking ball, bounced. Count now full. Got a base open. You keep this double play ball in order, you throw your best pitch here. And for Sam Beck, that has been something on the outer half of the plate to right-handed hitters. The payoff pitch, breaking ball in there, swung through, strike 3. And Beck able to battle back at the second out of the inning. And his third strikeout of the afternoon.
It's on PSLSports.com. There should be a banner on the top. PSLSports.com? Yep.
So 2 away, and that brings up Newman for American Fork. Newman lifts that ball out of play. Newman, the right fielder for the Cavemen. You know, fun part of the early part of the year is the old lineup cards. The coaches still wait for those to come in. As Beck missed that one, not sure where it missed, but he missed it. Count even at 1-1. The ball hit to short, handled cleanly, on his way to first just in time. Newman retired for the third out of the inning. But the inning belonged to the American Fork Cavemen as it was a leadoff triple for Caden Carpenter. And it's American Fork leading 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the second inning. You are watching a Game Night Live Rewind, Game of the Week on KSLSports.com. Bottom of the third inning, Dusty Lister with you here from Riverton High School. American Fork leading 1-0. Into the bottom of the second. As that's in for a called strike. As Tyler Barton, the third baseman, leads off the inning for Riverton. Now pitch off the mark for Carpenter. And that one off the plate as well. Count now 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1 hit curving in the left field, and nice job of getting underneath that. Had a lot of movement, including the wind as well. Nice job of ranging over and making the catch. That was Easton Welling. So 1 away. And that'll bring up Mac Bright, the first baseman. And that's in for a called strike, as you're seeing that outer half of the plate for both pitchers. Might just be something you learn. Take a little note on your umpire if you're seeing that corner well. The 0-1 chop to the right side. Robinson handles it cleanly. And now 2 away for Riverton. And we talked earlier, early in the year, you got to be patient. But one thing Coach Applegate preaches, when you see that pitch, go get it. But then they'll make their adjustments. You get the middle innings. It's one thing to be free, a little more free swing early innings. You got to make your adjustments as he goes through the lineup card at least once. And Carpenter starts out with a strike. Is Owen Olson, the right fielder, now up to the plate. The 0-1 from Carpenter. Chop to the right side. Robinson getting some work. Ranges over, makes the play, and Riverton retired in order, as that is the third putout by Robinson. So we head to the top of the third inning. It's American Fork 1, Riverton 0. You're watching Game Night Live Rewind, Game of the Week, presented by Heidemann and Associates and brought to you by the Utah Army National Guard. Top of the third inning, Dusty Litster with you here from Riverton High School as Trey Roberts steps in. And that ball lifted in the infield, and that is a easy put out for the first out of the inning for Riverton. And that brings up Austin Houghton, the catcher. As Houghton chops that one foul. Nice job of Sam Beck. Time all the time, get on top, stay on top. You talk to pitchers. And you only do that by living in the zone. But his breaking ball working well. Again, we'll keep these powerful AF bats at bay, as they're going to try to work themselves into a fastball count. Is the 0-1 from Beck. Again, another breaking piece, swung through and missed. Count now 0-2. But he's been able to locate to that corner since early in the game. It's the outside corner to a left-handed hitter. These missed. 1 to burn, 0-2. Swung on and missed for the second out of the inning. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night for Austin Houghton. As there's 2 away for AF as we go back to the top of the order. And the second baseman, Robinson, coming to the plate. This ball lifted in the shallow right field and reaching back and making the easy play for the third out of the inning was Mac Bright. So we head to the bottom of the third and a fast one here on a Game Night Live Rewind Game of the Week. It's 1-0 AF, and we'll be right back. Bottom of the third inning as we're in the 7, 8, 9 stretch for Riverton. And stepping in and leading off is Tristan Musgrove. And that ball misses from Caden Carpenter, who has worked in order to start this one. And that one chopped foul by Musgrove, and maybe he was trying to give somebody a break there. So count now even at 1-1. Only one base runner has reached. It was Parker Goff, who reached on a swinging strikeout. As Musgrove chops this one down the first base line and foul. Count now 1-2. Saw Musgrove a little bit last summer. But Riverton needing a runner on with no to 1 out. See if they can put some pressure on this AF defense. The 1-2 from Carpenter. Hit well to the right side. Robinson reads it over and can't get there. First base hit of the afternoon for Riverton. There's a nice start there for Musgrove. So a runner on first. Leadoff man aboard. Ryder Robinson's had a good day with putouts. Couldn't quite get to that one. So runner on first. And now coming to the plate is the left fielder, Josh Jacobson. You know, Sam Beck would love to come up the top of the order with a runner in scoring position and a chance to do some damage. Corners up, middle's back. The double play ball in order. And that one's bounced in from Carpenter, and Musgrove was easily going to take second on that one. So the double play out of order now. And a runner now in scoring position for Coach Applegate. The 1-0. Called strike up and in. And if Jacobson's looking for something to handle, wind blowing right back in his face. The 1-1 finds the zone as well. 1-2. See the composure of Carpenter as he bounced that first pitch and allows the runner to the second base, but able to bounce back here. Finds his zone on 2 straight pitches. Now the 1-2 misses wide of the plate, and that's where you see the cold coming into play. Hard to grip the baseball, and in high school you can go to your mouth on the mound. When you get to Legion or Major League rules, can't go to the mouth on the rubber. So now the 2-2. And they're going to try to pick off the second. Ball goes into center field, and Musgrove won't have a chance to go as it just gets onto the grass. So we'll stay at 2-2. They had that one set up there for Musgrove. A fun day today. At Riverton, we got baseball, soccer, and softball going. I'll trade some fridgy baseball. That means our kids get to play. And that ball's up and in. No, I don't think he went. Able to hold on to that one. Count now full. No, they called. The appeal worked to the base umpire. To my eyesight, I thought he held on to that one. That bat did not leave his shoulder, but early in the year for everybody. So 1 away. As we now go to the 9-hole in Weston Curtis, the second baseman. Yeah, I got a good friend of mine, Alex Wolf, always told me that he doesn't like the base umpire being able to take that appeal, that the home plate umpire is right there, that he can make that call. And it's one of the times I actually will agree with him. Home plate umpire didn't call it on the pitch. It's a tough one. As Curtis is now down a ball, or probably down a strike. Musgrove is second. And that one misses outside. You hear me talk all the time what a pitcher does in the final three. So 7, 8, 9 says a lot. If your 9-hitter can bridge the top of the order with one out, it's going to allow your top of the order to make hay. And it's the job right now for Weston Curtis. See if you can bridge that to the top. A bet coming up as that one finds the outer half. 4 called, strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, a runner on second. And now it misses down and in. And nice job there by Houghton keeping that one down. The way Musgrove's moving on that one, you got to see it. Count even to 2-2. The 2-2 misses down and in. And again, Houghton able to keep it in front. So last year's catcher, at least in the summer, was Maddox Madsen. And Houghton, he's out of work here in the 3rd inning. So full count, top of the order coming up next. The payoff pitch hit well into left field, and that'll get down. Not only get down, because behind a left fielder who went for the dive, Musgrove trips around third, but it won't matter. He will walk in, and that is an RBI single for Weston Curtis. And we are tied at 1. So give him the single in the book. He earned second on the misplay in left field. And so we'll change places. Runner still in scoring position as the top of the order will come up for Riverton. So remember, not going to mark that an error, but not able to give the double to Curtis. He does get the RBI. As Beck looks at the breaking ball and strike 1. I had someone reach out about a scoring thing from last night in a different game where a hitter was awarded a triple on a throw when he was at second. Official scorebook, that's a double. Make sure we have that stuff right, so stats are right as that ball is up and out. Even at 1-1. We will start doing a Black Clover or Justin Heidemann question of the game. Is how would you rule it? As Beck fouls that one back to the screen. If you have a runner on first, a ball hit to the gap. As the runner rounds first, is heading to second. The throw to home is on time. And the kid still takes third. Is it a triple or is it a double? Hit us up at G&L Rewind. Ball chopped to the third base side. Handled cleanly and onto first in time. Beck retired for the second out of the inning as the runner advances to third. It's a nice job fielding position and making that throw there by Easton Jones. And that brings up Parker Goff, the catcher. And that one's wide of the plate. Goff reached on a drop third strike. And then was part of a double play that ended the first inning. The 1-0. And again, elevated fastball swung through. Certainly a note Coach Ingersoll and staff got to look at. Elevated fastball. Riverton's been unable to lay off that. That ball looks so fat, and you're just not going to be able to reach it. And now the 1-1. And Goff lays off that breaking piece down and in. 2 balls and a strike. Well, hitters count here. With the base open, you still see a breaking piece here. And now the 2-1. Fastball hit to short. Ingersoll misplayed it. And that is going to be an error, and a run comes in the form of Weston Curtis. So 2 runs come in this inning for Riverton. And a rare fielding error by Fisher Ingersoll. So now brings up the center fielder, Caden Miller, with the runner on first. And that's a called strike. Going to play everybody back. Going to hold the runner at first. And a big swing and a miss by Miller. And the count quickly 0-2. Miller grounded out. Hit into a double play back in the first. His only plate appearance. And that ball fouled back to the screen, staying alive. Certainly see if Carpenter going to stay on the inner half of the plate with the holding the runner at first, playing back on the left side. You want to give Miller anything he can take to the right side and move a runner from first to third, and the ball to the down the line could even score him. Run going to go. Miller swings through it. Strike 3, but a strong inning for Riverton. Riverton plates 2. And they take a 2-1 lead to the top of the 4th inning. You are watching a Game Night Live Rewind, Game of the Week, presented by Heidemann Associates and brought to you by the Utah Army National Guard. Top of the 4th inning as we lead off with Fisher Ingersoll. And Fisher swings through that breaking ball from Sam Beck. And Fisher wears that one on the ankle. So leadoff man aboard for American Fork. So now with a leadoff man aboard and coming to plate is Easton Jones. And that ball lifted out of play. So Ingersoll away from first. Jones is 0 for 1 on the day. Went down looking back in the first. See if Ingersoll gets going. Breaking ball. Again, got bat off the shoulder there, Easton Jones. And quickly 0-2. And you see Beck continues to be up in the zone when he comes inside. But ahead of the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Snap to first. Ingersoll easily back. With his speed, see if he's able to break up a double play ball. And the 0-2 from Beck. Now one lifted out of play, and we'll do it again. Getting fun to get started our spring coverage. Dane Stewart will have soccer games for you. As we've got you right now planning, we will have you all the way through the 5A and 6A boys soccer and baseball tournaments. And we'll get some softball regular season games and get that tournament squared away for you as well. As your new home for state championships is KSLSports.com. As Beck misses on the outer half of the plate, and Ingersoll not going to get caught with the Javi Lopez snap down like Manny Ramirez did in the 95 World Series. Back when Manny did not wear 24. There's a fun. What number did he wear? So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ingersoll goes, breaking ball. Bounce, and Ingersoll easily into second. And that's good anticipation. Beck has lived on that breaking ball. You're going to have a chance to get the steal. Not that many benders. So he bounced that one and didn't have a shot to get down to second base. I don't know if he had a chance anyway. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner on second and no outs. And Beck gonna reset. Got to remember Carpenter on deck. As we've mentioned a couple times, big stick there with Carpenter. The 2-2. And a swing and a miss. Again, that breaking ball in the outer half of the plate been money for Sam Beck. And 1 away. And that'll bring up Caden Carpenter. Who tripled and scored back in the second. The wind blowing from right to left field. And that ball hit well in the left center field, and that's going to get down. That'll bring in Fisher Ingersoll. And another extra base hit for Caden Carpenter, as he is 2 for 2 with a triple and now an RBI double. As Ingersoll comes in to score, and we are tied at 2. And how about the equal opportunist there for Caden Carpenter? His triple was to right center. His double's to left center. And that brings up Easton Walker. Again, breaking ball, and this hit to the left side. And an easy play as Ingersoll will hold up at second base. As Josh Jacobson able to squeeze that for the second out of the inning. So now coming to play the left fielder, Easton Welling. Again with Carpenter at second and 2 away. And that one fouled down first base line. Again, one of my favorite parts of watching Beck pitch, he pitches the contact. We talked about it. And if it's not Caden Carpenter, he's able to stay off the barrel of the bat. But it's not just about throwing it by guys. It's about getting the swing and staying off that barrel as he chops down the first base, or pardon me, third base line. And now the 0-1. Had a chance there, but nice job of making that play at second base. Weston Curtis. That ball could have gone in the right center, and Carpenter would be 90 feet away. And now the 0-1. And what had been a strike, not a strike there. We were even now. Had a ball and a strike. Welling went down on strikes in the second inning. I'm trying to give AF a lead here. This ball hit well into into center field, and ranging back is Caden Miller for the third and final out of the inning. But again, it was Caden Carpenter coming up big at the plate. An RBI double ties us up at 2 as we head to the top of the 5th inning. You are watching a Game Night Live Rewind, Game of the Week, presented by Heidemann Associates and brought to you by the Utah Army National Guard. Bottom of the fourth inning of the Game Night Live Rewind Game of the Week. As always, we are presented by Heidemann and Associates. And if you have any lawn needs whatsoever, go to our friends at Heidemann and Associates. Get a free consultation. Go to www.utah.law. Find the location nearest you and let our friends at Heidemann Associates take care of you. Again, a free consultation. Let them know that Rewind sent you. I go there. Dane goes there. You can absolutely trust our friends at Heidemann Associates. Bottom of the fourth inning. Caden Carpenter still on the hill for American Fork as Tyler Barton looks at strike one. Barton flew out in his only plate appearance. That breaking ball finds the inner part of the plate, and a quickly 0-2 count. One to burn here for Carpenter. That ball lifted well into right field. He just kind of died the way he left his bat, but one away. And that'll bring up Mac Bright. Mac Bright, the first baseman, and man, he's got good parents teaching him some 90s hip hop for the right music. And that's in there for a called strike. I can't find music with my name in there very well. Dust on the bottle. I mean, who wants to? That doesn't work. But the return to the Mac for Mac Bright. As that's bounced. The only thing I got is Dusty Dinkelman from Just Friends or George Strait's Pure Country. One ball, one strike. That one's inside and off the plate. Count out 2-1. Two balls and a strike. Now runs 3-1. Bright grounded out to second base. His only plate appearance in the second inning. Well ahead in the count, the 3-1 pitch off the plate as well, and that is a walk for Mac Bright. And it's that part of being patient. You can come out being aggressive early, and you got to be patient after learning a little bit. As that brings on Owen Olson, the right fielder. And that is not in time. Can throw back. And again, that Andy Pettit move. Just not quite there. Better come back with dirt on if I'm coaching first base for you. Come back to that back corner, that far corner of the bag, especially with the right-handed first baseman. But finally in there for a called strike. The outer half of the plate, it's been there, all but maybe one pitch I can think off the top of my head. So the count now 0-1 as they again snap back to first. Mac Bright getting his up-downs in. The 0-1. Swung on and missed. The count now 0-2. So well ahead here for Carpenter. See if he works back over at first. And that ball misses up. That's the thing, you don't want to go through the tail, but it's cold outside and you start gripping, that ball gets away. Especially your mechanics comes a little short. And that ball stays up. Can get that platform down. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. And a beautiful breaking ball in the outer half of the plate for the second out of the inning. There's Olsen down on strikes. So with 2 outs and a runner on first base, I'm bringing up Tristan Musgrove. Tristan singled and scored the first run of the game for Riverton. Just last inning. Single to the right side to get things started for Coach Applegate. And that ball's off the plate. Well off the plate for ball 1. The 2 outs. Tell Carpenter not to worry about the runner at first. Take care of the guy at the plate. And that one misses wide as well. First one a little more obvious than that one. So Musgrove now ahead, 2-0. You want to start loading it up here if you're Carpenter. And he has snapped the first. So 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs, and a runner on first. Tristan Musgrove at the plate for the Silver Wolves. And that one foul to the screen. That's the thing you always got to tell your guys, especially big, powerful pitchers. You still got to throw to contact. You just don't need to blow it by everybody. You find yourself in the 5th, 6th, 7th innings. You got to make these guys swing the bat. The 2-1. Misses up and out. 3-1 to Musgrove. I don't think you're going to give him a green light here, but immediately put him to the defensive. And Carpenter's able to find the zone here on 3-1. Bryant being alert at first. And, oh! And that's called strike 2. So the count goes full. And that's one of those things you always tell your guy, hey, would you start celebrating that walk? But you're not showing anybody up. I looked up and in. Here we go. Full count, 2 outs. The payoff pitch, chop back up the middle. Ingersoll not going to get there, neither will Robinson. And that is a clutch hit for Musgrove. As a nice piece of hitting there with 2 outs. Able to shorten that up and get it through the infield. So runners on first and second. And that got through 3 terrific fielders for AF. And that'll bring up Josh Jacobson. As they're going to play everybody back. Keep the ball in front, forces any base. Carpenter misses up. This is why your coach talks a lot. Hey, stay calm. Take care of the guy at the plate. Find your way out of the inning. Everything will be just fine. From the AF side and from Riverton, you got to manufacture a run here. Get yourself into a count. Make sure he's throwing strikes. Don't give anything away by offering at a ball. And that 1-0 misses up as well. You might be giving a take sign here to Jacobson. You want to make Carpenter throw 2 strikes as AF's going to come out of a little chat here with Carpenter. Again, 2-0 count. We'll be right back. You're watching a Game Night Live Rewind, Game of the Week. All right, conference is over. No changes, so Carpenter's still on the hill. 2 balls, no strikes. And 2 on here for Riverton, and there's also 2 out. I go green light here on the 2-0. Fastball misses wide. Nine hitter coming up next, and that's Weston Curtis. Got a long way to come back here from Carpenter. The 3-0 up in the zone as well. So bases loaded with the 9-hole hitter coming up. One of the things we talked about at the top, is one thing you always measure, and you talk about every pitcher, hey, how do you handle 7, 8, 9? And right now, the 7, 8, 9 holes have been productive spots in the Applegate lineup. Weston Curtis comes up. He had an RBI single and scored a run last inning. And can come up big once again as that one is in for a called strike. And part of the conversation you have with Carpenter is, hey, if he gets on, good. Just work from where you're most comfortable. Take care of the guy at the plate. Force at every base, everyone's playing back. Biggest thing is that right now, the biggest thing that hurts you right there are balls. You cannot defend walks. You got to center yourself and find the zone here. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Now 1-1 wide of the plate, and a run's going to come in on the wild pitch. Mac Bright comes in after having to do all the up-downs earlier in the inning. And it's now a 3-2 lead for Riverton. So 2 balls and a strike. Runners in scoring position. This ball lifted out of play down the first baseline. Count even at 2-2. And Carpenter can bounce right here. Deuce is wild. Chop back up the middle. Robinson ranges over. Can't get it on the backhand. And a run will come in. That is not an error. That was not a routine play up the middle. Robinson could not get that cleanly. And now a 2-run lead for Riverton. That has scored a hit. And 2 RBIs on the day for Weston Curtis. And to the top of the order we go with Sam Beck. So runners on the corners. And a speed-up runner coming on. And that is Hicks coming in a run. Is Beck 0 for 2. So the pitcher matchup here. And Beck offers it the first pitch. And again, if it's me, I'm talking to guys about get yourself into account. Beck wanted to jump on the first one he saw that was good. For Carpenter, take that as a positive, come right back. Runners on the corners, no balls, 1 strike and 2 outs. Top of the order here for Riverton and Sam Beck at the plate. The 0-1 swung on, and the count now 0-2. For Carpenter, I come right back. Not one to burn here. 0-2, runner at third. Runners on the corners, but a man 90 feet away. Going to snap the first. And for Beck, got to shorten up and put the ball in play. And that's a called strike 3. Beck went down looking, but Riverton plates 2 runs, and they take a 4-2 lead. You're watching a Game Night Live Rewind Game of the Week on KSLSports.com. Top of the 5th inning, Riverton leading American Fork 4-2. We'll start with Dax Newman, the right fielder. That's that. Ball misses on the outside, and you see the difference in pitching. I mean, for Sam Beck, that is his 41st pitch of the afternoon. And for Carpenter, he's at 73 pitches through the 4th inning. And again, 2 different styles, 2 different types of arms. As Beck, again, we mentioned at the top, pitches to contact, understands who he is. He's an off-speed pitcher, finds his spots. As he starts 3-0 here, a rare start. A 3-0, and Carpenter, a powerful arm. It'll blow a lot of gas by you, and he's been a little errant today. As that's in for a called strike, bringing Dax Newman back. But that pitch count is really big in a game like this, and of course, we're just working off rust here. 3 balls and 1 strike. And that misses down. So ball 4 and a leadoff walk for the Cavemen. Well, that's the first official walk. Always hits batsmen in with walks, as he did hit Ingersoll last inning, and Fisher came in and scored. But Newman aboard with a leadoff walk. Is Coach Applegate going to come have a chat with Sam Beck? And that will bring up Trey Roberts. When I talk about Fisher Ingersoll being a terrific wide receiver, is one of the good up-and-coming wide receivers in the state of Utah. This AF offense next year in the football season, I can't talk about football enough. It's going to be absolutely electric. Chaz Ryan, Moyaki, Ingersoll, and Roberts Oh, and a pretty good trigger man in Maddox Madsen, who, if you did not know, has ties to my hometown area, Carbon County. But glad to have Chase Roberts back. Came home from his mission safely. As Trey steps in, 0 for 1 in his only plate appearance. And Beck, breaking ball for called strike. The 0-1. Breaking ball, called strike 2. You can throw that breaking pitch early in the count. It's going to keep them all balanced. Now expect some elevated speed here. He comes up and in, or goes up and away. Roberts crowding the plate. And the 0-2. Breaking ball, outer half, called strike 3. A little good morning, good afternoon, and good night from Sam Beck. The 6th strikeout of the day for Beck. As I'll bring up a pinch hitter. And I've got it as Ben Rudder. Spencer Clegg. I should have known. Spencer, we saw him in the summer. This kid is, well, to say he's big is an understatement. Spencer Clegg is certainly taken to the weight room, and the weight room is taken to him. So I got all the changes taken care of, and now stepping in will be Spencer Clegg, the pinch hitter. Runner on first and 1 out for American Fork. What I remember of Clegg was in the summer, him coming in, and we were a little closer to the backstop. You see how big this young man is, and he had a ball that still hasn't landed yet. Breaking ball in there for a called strike. And again, for Sam Beck, it's one size fits all with his approach. Work it early with the breaking ball, work it late with the breaking ball. The 0-1. That one's bounced. Runner goes to second. And the throw is late from Goff. So now runner at second. On that missing breaking ball. So now with the base open. Base open with the top of the order coming up next. As Beck normally say, base open, we're not going to worry about it. But with 1 out, still need to be smart and not handing over a middle fastball. Is that breaking ball in there for a called strike? Could not hold up on that one. I thought it was close, but the count now 1-2. And Beck misses wide of the plate. Count now even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. See if he comes back in with that breaking ball. The 2-2. Breaking ball swung on and missed, and Clegg is down on strikes. When you know what your guy can do, there's nothing wrong with anybody else knowing it as well, because they still got to hit it. Just love the way that Beck controls the breaking ball in the inner half of the plate to left-handed hitter. It brings up Ryder Robinson. So runner on second. Robinson today, yet to reach, has played a strong second base. I'd love to come up big here at the plate. Outer half called strike. And when you live in the zone, guys come up and they're just off balance. Biggest part of hitting the strike zone and working the off-speed pitch. And not allowing anybody to just sit back on you. Especially you throw it for a strike, and that's what Beck has done. The 0-1. Fastball chopped to first, and that'll do it. Got to the top of the order. But Riverton took care of business. As we head to the bottom of the fifth inning, it's Riverton 4, American Fork 2. You are watching a Game Night Live Rewind, Game of the Week on KSLSports.com. Bottom of the fifth inning. And that ball goes back up the middle off the pitcher's foot. Newman gets over there, but not in time, and that's a lead-off single for Parker Goff. As Goff reaches for the third time today, but only the one that's going to go on the left side of the hit and plate appearance column. As he was 0 for 2 or 0 for 1, probably 0 for 2 as he reached on a drop third strike. He reached on an error and there singled off the foot of Dax Newman, who's now come in for Caden Carpenter. As Caden Miller comes on, the center fielder. Applegate, I believe, is the speed-up runner for Parker Goff, who's the catcher. Is Houghton going to have a little quick chat, make sure they got signs right. It is Applegate over on first. Tell you one thing, that softball game has been entertaining. Skyridge had a big lead, and Riverton came back, and it was a home run that put Riverton up in a big inning. He's now leading 9-5 over there. It's a lot of fun going on as that ball goes to the screen, and Applegate will stroll down the second base. So now a runner in scoring position here for Caden Miller. Hit into a double play in the first, went down on strikes in the third inning. I love to come up here with the runner in scoring position. That ball's wide of the plate. So 2 balls and no strikes. That ball hit well in the center, but not as well as we thought initially. Handled cleanly, and first out of the inning is Miller caught that one on the end of the bat. And now bring up Tyler Barton, the third baseman. Breaking ball in for a called strike. Barton got to feel good not being lefty on lefty. I don't know, Moneyball talks about it, doesn't care about lefty-lefty, but trust me, all you do is really face right-handed pitchers, and also you get to see one. I feel a little better for this batter. Lift that one out of the play. No balls, 2 strikes, runner at second base. And that one misses wide of the plate. Count out 1 ball and 2 strikes. Barton flew out to left and flew out to center. Applegate away from second, going to try to pick him off, and Applegate back in there safely. Of course, his brother Parker was absolutely outstanding and had a great last chance tournament last year in the summer. I believe going down to USU Eastern. That ball hit well down the first base, or probably right field line, and foul. You got Coach Haney down there in Price. Rebuild that once very proud baseball program. That ball is bounced. Count now even at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner on second. And Newman able to get that fastball in the outer half, swung through and missed for the second out of the inning. Nice job of bouncing back there by Newman. And that will bring up Mac Bright. He got things started last inning, walked and scored. They can extend the lead. The base hit here as that breaking ball misses. And now the 1-0. And that is up and out of play. There's the count now, even a ball and a strike. And now the 1-1 from Newman. And that breaking ball in for a called strike 2. Houghton got a little ahead of himself. As AF trying to slam the door. They got 2 more at bats to try to make up this 2-run deficit. And now the count even at 2-2. Deuces wild here from Mac Bright. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner on second. Going to snap back and back easily. And again, the 2-2. Misses wide. The count now full. Hope you're enjoying our first baseball stream of the year. We will have a soccer match later on this week. The count now full. 2 outs, runner on second. Payoff pitch, misses up. And Bright earns his second walk of the day. So runners on first and second now. Can't defend a walk. This slows things down as Owen Olson now comes to the plate. So runners on first and second. Got forces everywhere for AF. And Olson looks at ball 1. Big matchup here early in the baseball season, as that ball misses wide as well. We have enough changes and movement in schedules with normal weather stuff. Now we add in a little bit of COVID, which has not been a big deal here in the state of Utah during our sports seasons, thank goodness. As that ball fouled out of play. Olson wanted that one. So the count now, 2 balls and a strike. But certainly an early measuring stick here for both AF and Riverton. So here's the 2-1. And that one was not tucked. Well, it's early in the year as well. That was fouled back to the screen. So the count now 2-2. Got to hand to the scoreboard guys. They've stayed up on top of stuff. Intern Preston's been all over the place with our scoreboard, but we need to go get some high school guys to come take care of that. So back to being deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Breaking ball back up the middle. Ingersoll going to get it. On to second for the 3rd out of the inning. So Riverton threatens but can't push anybody across. We head to the top of the 6th inning in a 2-run Riverton lead as you're watching a Game Night Live Rewind Game of the Week brought to you by the Utah Army National Guard and presented by Heidemann and Associates. Top of the 6th inning, and a big spot here for Fisher Ingersoll. Leading off the inning for the Cavemen. Chopped to the right side, and that's more than chopped. Hit well through the right side, and a leadoff single for Fisher. Know you're going to see the pop in his bat later on in the year. Remember the grand slam he hit in the summer? He had himself quite the day. I believe it was against Bingham. That brings up Easton Jones. Jones yet to reach in his previous at-bats as Beck's still on the mound, and that breaking ball is swung through and missed. Beck's done a nice job of keeping these AF bats at bay. The 0-1, breaking ball misses wide, and Fisher couldn't get a jump on that drop from Goff, but the count even had a ball and a strike. Remember last time Ingersoll got on was in the 3rd. He was hit by a pitch and he ended up scoring. And was on a bounce breaking ball. He got to second base on it. As Beck's moved to first. Not a big deal, come off a bright, but got to keep your eye on number 9. So again, 1 ball and 1 strike. Ingersoll away from first. Easton Jones at the plate. And that breaking pitch misses. And you think of this, where Beck has been, we gave you an update a little while ago. This is going to be his 60th pitch of the day. Ball chopped to the left side. Nice charge by Musgrove, and Bright able to stretch and make the play. Tristan Musgrove doing his best Parker Applegate there. As the runner will advance to second and 1 away. And coming to the plate now. I was just curious to see if we'd see a change out there with Riverton is. Has now come to the plate is Caden Carpenter. You got 3 American 4 hits. 2 of them are for Caden Carpenter. And I don't know if we got a question about a runner at first base. Yeah, I don't know if we have a runner at first. I thought he was out at first. You can't blame AF for trying here. They thought that Bryant had been pulled off the bag. I don't know how you're going to overrule it. Remember, early in the year, it's 2-man crews until the state tournament, where it goes to 3-man crews. But that is a play called by the field umpire. I'm sure we got some umpires watching. You can hit me up, let me know what that discussion is like. And we have no signal to anything. They called him out at first base, and they're going to call him safe now, so he was pulled off the bag. So take the out off the board, put the runner on. I mean, you talk about a delayed conversation. Certainly not recency bias, how much time had passed between that move. But Easton Jones is going to be aboard. So that's an infield single for Easton Jones. So runners on first and second. And no outs. As Caden Carpenter, who has been sensational with the bat, comes to the plate. He is 2 for 2 with a triple and a double. Triple to right center, double to left center. And they are shading him strongly, giving them the line down the left field. So if you're doing that, you got to be pitching him inside. And that breaking ball in for called strike 1. Carpenter is the pitcher of record for AF. He can get himself to a no decision with a long ball here. Squares the bunt. And if Carpenter's going to bunt, that's a little signal to everybody on the AF lineup that all you're going to bunt. So count even at 1-1. Riverton playing back in the corners, not holding it first. Again, Carpenter going to square to bunt. And that breaking ball in for a called strike. And remember, because you drop your profile does not change the strike zone. A lesson for all young hitters out there. The strike zone is not established by how much you move. So big spot here for Carpenter. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tying run at first. You know you're seeing a breaking piece here. And he lays off. Not an easy one to lay off. Going down and away. Needing to be defensive. Count now even at 2-2. If you're back, come right back to the inside breaking ball. Do not want to leave it middle to 14. Come back to your best pitch for the next 2 pitches. Again, 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs, runners on first and second. And he lays off the inside breaking ball. The count runs full. And this is big-time hitting by Carpenter. Squares to bunt on 2 pitches. Gets down 1 and 2. And able to lay off the outside pitch. And then that inner breaking pitch right there. And nowhere to put him. You see something straight here. The payoff pitch. Swung through and missed. Sam Beck goes the outer half breaking ball. And Carpenter, it goes down for the first time today. So 1 out and runners on first and second. That is digging deep there. That's a RJ Performance Group mental performance moment of the game for Sam Beck. Carpenter triple to right center, double to left center. Was up 1 and 2 in the count. Comes back with that full count breaking ball for the strikeout. I want to thank our friends at RJ Performance Group. Go to rjpg.net to set your appointment with them to sharpen your skills. From the field to the boardroom, I talk about all the time. I go visit with Riley Jensen's professionals. Sit down with Riley. Work on all kinds of stuff. Again, go to rjpg.net. So coming to the plate now, Easton Whitaker coming to the plate. And that pitch in there for a called strike. Got to thank Mama Whitaker for helping me with names today. And I kept messing up saying Easton Walker, thinking about last year's team. She told me, she turned around and said, well, Easton Walker plays at BYU, but Easton Whitaker's on American Fork this year. So I want to thank you for her help. Whitaker 0 for 1. Had a sacrifice fly, bringing in the first run of the game. As that one bounced, and the count even at 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 1 away, double play ball in order. And that ball hit pretty well to center, tailing toward left field. And that's going to make it hard on the tag for Fisher Ingersoll as Whitaker retired for the second out of the inning. That ball's hit the right center. Fisher Ingersoll standing at third base, but when that ball's tailing toward left field, there's no way he's taking that. So now 2 outs. Brings up the left fielder, Easton Welling. Again, the game time run at first. Only 1 more plate appearance coming for AF as Welling offers that first pitch for strike 1. And that one bounced, and Goff able to handle that one easily. One went down on strikes in the second, flew out to center back in the 4th. Again, could bring Ingersoll in with a base hit here. With 2 outs, they're not tagging. The 1-1 lifted out of play. So count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. And if you've watched this game from the beginning with me, you know where I think Beck's going to go. It's a breaking ball in the outer half of the plate. So if you're willing, you just got to shorten up, let that ball travel and take it where it's pitched. The 1-2. And that one spoiled as that goes out of play into the softball field. If you want to feel normal, you just need to come to Riverton High School today. As we mentioned, we got a soccer match going, got softball going, and baseball all at the same time. We'll do it again. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and 2 on. Out of half of the plate and wide of the plate. Count now even, 2-2. This is certainly not the scene from last March on St. Patrick's Day. Deuce is wild. And again, spoiling that one. There's a strong at bat here from Easton Welling. Trying to remember the video I saw from last night. Was it a 24 pitch at bat in spring training last night? We're going to go through all the pitches here if you're Easton Welling. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 on and 2 out. Game time run at first. And Welling is this into the right center field, still traveling, going back, and the ball's going to get down all the way to the wall. 1 run comes in, and now we are tied at 4 on the 2 RBI triple for Easton Welling. Talked about your Riley Jensen mental performance of the game. How about Welling? Stays alive, battles off pitch after falling down 1 and 2. And then comes up big with a game-tying triple. Now Coach Applegate will come out and have a chat with Sam Beck. While he does that, we'll take a quick break. You're watching a Game Night Live Rewind Game of the Week on KSLSports.com. So Beck's going to stay in there. And that brings up Dax Newman, who is now the pitcher of record for AF. If he stays on the mound anyway. Came in for relief of Caden Carpenter. But they're going to leave Beck in there so he can get out of the inning as that breaking ball is in there for a called strike. Newman 0 for 1, reached on a walk last inning. If I can give AF a lead with a base hit here as that one's wide of the plate. Count even at 1-1. And Beck grips that one a little tightly and misses. 2 balls and a strike. Hitters count here. Beck with 8 Ks on the day. One walk, 1 hits batsman. He's only surrendered 4 hits. The 2-1. That one lifted down the right field line and foul. So the count is even at 2-2. Remember, one of the big things in this inning was the Easton Jones play at first base. He was initially called out. AF wouldn't relinquish. And then the umpires got together well after everything and called him safe. That was the game-tying run. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and that one's up and in as the count now runs full. Beck was able to dig deep against Caden Carpenter. Can he do it again? Remember, Carpenter was a 1-2 count, went to full. Beck was able to come back and get him. But Welling came up big his last at-bat. It's now the payoff pitch. Wide of the plate, ball 4. That pitch had been there all day today. The not there. So now Coach Applegate will come have a chat with Beck, and that will do it for the day. We'll have his stat line when we come back. You're watching our baseball coverage, the Game Night Live Rewind on KSLSports.com. So Beck comes off in favor of Robinson. And stepping into play now is Trey Roberts. And Roberts hits this one down the third baseline, and it is fair. 1 run comes in. Here comes the second. It is a 2 RBI double for Trey Roberts. 1 pitch and a new game. And AF goes up 2. Roberts had struggled from the plate in his first 2 at-bats. The first pitch from Robbins. And it's a 6-4 lead for AF. And re-entering now is Austin Houghton. And that one misses. Now we've got Robbins reeling a little bit here. As that one's bounced, and the count now 2-0. As the book is closed on Beck, as Robbins now only responsible for the runner at second base in the form of Trey Roberts. And now the 2-0 to Houghton. Swung through and missed. Count of 2-1. And if you're Houghton, you want to jump on stuff. You see Roberts get going, but it's just make him work. You know, Robbins is bouncing a little bit. You see him grip that one. Count now 3-1. And that's you see him thinking. He's aiming that ball. You saw it come out of his hand. So 3 balls and a strike to Houghton. 2 outs and a runner on second. Finds his own there to count now full. Base open. The top of the order coming up. And of course, Applegate deciding to go with a lefty. All lefties in this AF lineup. The payoff pitch hit well into right field. Still traveling and going all the way to the wall. It's going to be an insurance run from Trey Roberts and a stand-up double for Houghton and a 3-run lead for American Fork. Terrific at bat there from Houghton. And you get a true appreciation for what Sam Beck had been doing to this AF lineup as he had kept them at bay until this inning. As they've now exploded for 4 runs. And they had 4 hits come in the inning. 2 of them were from one hitter. And now 6 hits in just the 6th inning alone. So the top of the order we go, and Ryder Robbins. And he's going to switch to the right side of the plate. Ingersoll on deck. That pitch was in there for a called strike, but snapped down to third, and Houghton out at third for the final out of the 6th inning. But how about the inning for American Fork? They plate 5 and take a 7-4 lead as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. You are watching a Game Night Live Rewind, Game of the Week on KSLSports.com. Bottom of the 6th inning looks a lot different than we did coming into the top of the 6th. Wolves were up 4-2, but a 5-run 6th has AF up 3 runs, 7-4 as Tristan Musgrove swings and misses through that breaking ball. He changed his mind about 3 times on that pitch. Musgrove is 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored. That was coming off Caden Carpenter, the outstanding pitcher from AF. As this was not, as he's going to go through the day and he's going to go through the book, and Coach Ingersoll is going to talk to him. It was what happened on the bottom third of this Riverton lineup, as it was very productive. 7, 8, 9, as that one's wide. And the count now 2-1. But Musgrove is 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored. Weston Curtis, the 9-hole, is 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs and a run scored. As Musgrove hits this one well down the third baseline and foul. And the count even at 2-2. Again, hope you're enjoying our beginning of baseball coverage. As the 2-2 pitch has the count out full. We'll bring you at least one baseball game a week. We'll have a short week next week. We'll have soccer and swimming next week. The payoff pitch. Back up the middle. Musgrove on with a lead-off single for the second time today. Hit that one on the screws. So, runner aboard for Coach Applegate. We talked about it. You know the kind of game or season you can have if your bottom third can be productive. And Musgrove is a great way to get to that bottom third. And that brings up Josh Jacobson. And Newman's pitch wide of the plate. And Jacobson walked back in the 4th inning. They love to move the runner here. Corners up, middle's back. That pitch wide. Oh, in there for a called strike. That has been a favored corner for every pitcher today. Working the outer half. Again, the 1-1. Chopped down the third baseline and foul. It is now Jacobson got to shorten that stroke. He moved the runner. There's Curtis on deck. And then top of the order for Riverton is they keep Musgrove close over at first base. One ball, 2 strikes. Breaking ball to the left side. Ingersoll gets over. Short way to second. Off the mark. Everybody's safe. And all that, the ball goes into right field. And it's Musgrove safely into third. So runners on the corners. And no outs for Riverton. As again, Ingersoll tried to go the short way. And Robinson could not get to that ball. So Jacobson aboard on the fielder's choice. And Weston Curtis, the second baseman, now at the plate. We mentioned 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs on the day. Sam Beck, leadoff man, coming up next. And top of the order. That's Coach Applegate going to pinch run for Jacobson. And is Hanson going to come in and pinch run? Good to see Coach Applegate walk a little easier. He had knee replacement surgery in the spring. But here we go. Runners on the corners, 1-0. The count for Weston Curtis, who going to break things up. Newman taking a second there. And Curtis trying to take control of the at-bat. Ready for play. The 1-0 wide of the plate. Count out 2 balls and no strikes. And now Coach Ingersoll can have a chat. So they have a conversation. We'll come right back. You're watching Game Night Live Rewind, Game of the Week. So a quick chat is over. Again, 2 balls and no strikes to Weston Curtis. And that is in there for a called strike. Good job by Newman. Got to come all the way back. Nowhere to put him. And the top of the order coming. And then the question is, what do you do at first base? You speed the runner up. Get him moving. And certainly AF thinking about that too, is Hansen just able to get back there. This ball hit down the third base line and foul. So count now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Double play ball in order. And if you're AF, you're not worried about the runner at third if a ball hit up the middle. And Curtis holds his water and a count now full. Seeing patience here from the 9-hole hitter. But a full count. No outs, runners on the corners. And he stays alive. We'll do it again. Curtis singled, drove in a run and scored in the third. And then drove in a run back in the fourth. The payoff pitch. Again, fought off, and we'll do it again. We saw this top of the bat last inning, the top half of the 6th inning from Easton Welling. It paid off in a game-tying triple. I love the approach right now from Weston Curtis. The 3-2. This one lifted in the right, shallow right field. Coming on, making the diving catch. And they'll hold the runner in Musgrove at third. I believe that was Trey Roberts coming on for that diving catch in the first out of the inning. As we will stay runners on the corners after that terrific at-bat from Curtis. It's Roberts with the highlight reel grab for the first out of the inning. Top of the order we go to Sam Beck. Beck yet to reach today. I'd love to come up big here. Mentioned signed with BYU. That pitch on the outer half in for a called strike. Strong lead at first. And Beck looks at that breaking ball for a called strike 2, and He got a lot. He didn't get it in the moment he really wanted on the mound and had that one called against him there. So now the whole book open to Newman. 1 out, 0-2 count. And 1 to burn. Beck, it's time to shorten up, find your way to get the ball to the grass. The 1-2 pitch, chop to the right side. Robinson to Ingersoll, strong onto first, but Beck in there in time. A run will come in as Beck reaches on the fielder's choice. And there is 2 away, but the speed of Beck takes away the double play ball. It's now a runner on first. That brings up Parker Goff, the catcher. And it's in there for a called strike. So Beck on first. The 0-1. Breaking ball misses. That was up and out. Newman would not want to throw one like that again. That could be a problem. Now the 1-1. Beck goes, and he'll easily take second. Goff had an infield single his last time up. Offers that one for a called strike 2. And now it's time to center yourself if you're Parker Goff. And you're Newman. You got one to play with. Go up and out again. Come out of that breaking ball away. Got the fat corner on the outside. The 1-2 came back in the zone and lifts that one out of the play. So once again, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Misses up and in, a little chin music. Not quite Shawn Michaels knock you out chin music, but it's because you get out of the way there. Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on second. And it's early in the year for everybody. Sam Beck thought, got one back there. That was a pretty fastball. The count now full. I'm not sure what Coach Applegate was wanting here. And we're going to have another meeting of the minds here. It gives us time to remind you that, as always, Game Night Live Rewind presented by Heidemann & Associates. If you need to have a consultation, get your game plan together, or need be able to legal needs, go to our friends at Heidemann & Associates. Now, if you need to get your will and living trust taken care of, they're a flat rate. They don't charge you by the hour. A flat rate for your living will and trust. Go to Heidemann & Associates. Learn more at utah.law. Again, that's utah.law. Find a office nearest you, get a free consultation, let them know the Rewind sent you. So nothing changes. Full count, 2 outs, a runner at second. The payoff pitch. Lifted into right field in foul territory, and that catch is made for the third and final out of the inning. Nice job there by Easton Whitaker arranging over for the third out, but Riverton does plate one. It's a 2-run game as we head to the 7th and final inning. You are watching a Game Night Live Rewind, Game of the Week on KSLSports.com. Top of the 7th inning on our first baseball game of the year for Game Night Live Rewind. We've had a fun one as we head to this final inning. AF leading 7-5, powered by a 5-run 6th. And we will start at the top of the order. Ryder Robbins, the second baseman. And new pitcher for Riverton is Owen Olson. Of course, Robinson was up when the runner got thrown out at third. Not a bad spot to be in if you're AF, being the final inning and have your top of your order coming up to try to extend the lead. But 2 balls and no strikes to Robinson. And that ball lifted out of play. And the count moves to 2-1. Robinson yet to reach today. In fact, he's been held in the infield today. As that ball's bounced, and the count now 3-1. So certainly going to have the red light here. He's going to get the take on 3-1. That 3-1 pitch is up and in. So leadoff man's aboard. And that'll bring up Fisher Ingersoll. And Fisher squares the bunt rather. The ball mishandled by Goff, goes into center field, and it's going to be a two-base throwdown to second as you go from a runner on first to now a runner on third and no outs. As Robinson now able to take third on the throw. And Fisher Ingersoll the chance to extend the lead with anything out of the infield. So everybody up for Riverton. That's in for a called strike. And Fisher, big swing on that off-speed pitch. Count out 1-2. Ingersoll singled and scored last inning. Was hit and scored in the fourth. The 1-2 swung on and missed as Olsen pulled the string, held the ball in the air, and Ingersoll swung through it. There's off-speed, and then there's the dark one. So with one out, the third baseman, Easton Jones, comes to the plate. And Easton with a big swing. And it's strike one. And now the 0-1. Chopped down the third baseline and fair. That'll be an RBI single and extending the lead for American Fork. Easton Jones. And it's now 8-5 in favor of American Fork. And these bats have come alive. Beck held them silent for the most part until last inning. And that brings up Caden Carpenter, who's had a great day at the plate. And they're going to give him an intentional walk. And I know for the sake of time, we don't throw the pitches. Not a fan. I actually hate that they do it now in Major League Baseball. If you can't throw an intentional walk, I'm sorry. You shouldn't be rewarded with the fact that the guy just gets the bag. Off a soapbox and on to the bat here for Easton Whitaker, first baseman. And that ball bounced. Again, squaring the bunt. And Riverton struggled with that today, especially from the mound throwing to the bunt. Remember Carpenter had squared around twice in his last at bat against Beck and moved guys around without even touching the bat before striking out. Whitaker looks at ball two. Whitaker had an RBI sacrifice fly, an RBI back in the second. He's yet to reach today. And now the 2-0. Called strike. Riverton playing even everywhere. The 2-1. Breaking ball in there for a called strike two. So the 2-2. Chop back to the pitcher. Now ball goes off the glove and now snap back to third. Not in time. Yeah, he was in there. So everybody's safe. As it was a great job by Olsen to field his position, pulled the man off the bag. And now everybody aboard as Whitaker reaches on the fielder's choice. And for Coach Applegate, it's the conversation of, hey, still got the double play anywhere. Work down the zone, get the ground ball, and see if we can get out of this inning. But it brings up Easton Welling, and he was the young man that tied the game. It was a 4-2 ball game last inning, and it was a 2 RBI triple from Welling as he gets to this ball up in the zone, and it's handled in left field for the second out. And everybody has to hold as that ball looked like it was going to get to the ground. And an outstanding job of coming on and making that catch is Josh Jacobson. And it might even be Jacobson anymore. Cooper Hansen. Look, they run the scoreboard, the sports information guys. So 2 outs as Hansen made that great catch. And that one misses the plate as that brings up Dax Newman. The 1-0 lifted out of play. Count now even at a ball and a strike. Newman 0 for 1 with 2 walks and a run scored. Right now he's the pitcher record for AF and slotted for the W today. He came on in relief of Caden Carpenter and has done a very good job of stifling this Riverton offense. So now the 1-2 misses wide. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, and the base is loaded. Missed it and missed by much. His account is now full. Everybody will be moving on this one. Full count, 2 outs. Misses up, and they walk in, they run. So now a 4-run lead for the Cavemen. That is 7 runs in the last 2 innings. If you're going to follow our coverage, you're going to see all the time, there is no defense for a walk. Got to get guys swinging the bats as Trey Roberts comes up, looks at ball 1. Roberts had a RBI single, giving AF the lead last inning. And also scored a run. They made a great play in right field. A ball wide of the plate. Count now 2-0. A 2-0 pitch lifted out of play. And a count now 2 balls and a strike. Again, bases loaded. 2-1. Hit down the first base line and fair. That's going to bring in 2 for Trey Roberts. And that is adding on to what is a great close to the day. That is 4 RBIs on the afternoon for Trey Roberts. And his last 2 at-bats is when he drove all them all in. And it's now 11-5 in favor of American Fork. So runners on second and third. As Austin Houghton comes to the plate, he doubled his last time up. And that one's bounced. So the count even at 1-1. You think about Houghton and Roberts. Both were 0 for 2 going in the last inning. You're talking about Roberts. 2 doubles and 4 RBIs. His last 2 at-bats. As Houghton takes a big swing. And goes down 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now the 1-2. Able to hold off on that breaking ball. Evens us up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Everything going the way of Riverton to the last 2 at-bats for American Fork. And that one's wide of the plate. It's big for Olson's got to come back. There's a base open, but you're back to the top of the order. The payoff pitch. Pulls the string, that ball lifted into the infield. And that'll be the third and final out, but a 4-run top of the 7th. And it's AF leading 11-5 over Riverton. You are watching a Game Night Live Rewind Game of the Week on KSLSports.com. Last chance time for Riverton. As they trail 11-5, but we're in. Caden Miller leading things off, the center fielder. And looks at ball one. A 1-0 in there for a called strike. Caden yet to reach today. Now one wide of the plate. Count out 2-1. Dax Newman's done a nice job. He inherited a 2-run deficit. Has done a nice job of holding things down, as this actually, I believe, is Welling on the mound. Pardon me, we have a 27, but we got an old lineup card. That's a leadoff walk for Miller. Who's the pitcher? I'm so sorry. The pitcher is Brian Nilsson. And that brings up Tyler Barton. And that one's wide of the plate. And what tended to happen here is just get a little lackadaisical on the mound and extend the game only by time. A 6-run lead. Who take quite the charge here from Riverton. And that 1-0 is left up, and now 2-0. But if you're Coach Applegate, you're looking at your guys saying, hey, you get 2 strikes on you. Need base runners. Don't need guys coming swinging out of their shoe tops. Need guys on base. And that pitch, called strike. So count out 2 balls and a strike here to Barton. And a big swing, and a count even at 2-2. And it's Caden Miller on first. And now the 2-2. Nielsen pulls the string. Strike 3. Got Barton looking for the first out. And that'll bring up Mac Bright. Mac 0 for 1 with the run scored. And that breaking ball misses. Snap over to first, but Miller back in safely. Look at the story today for Riverton. We talked about it quite a bit. Is bottom half of the order has done a lot of work. Middle of the order been a little quiet today. As that pitch misses wide. Baseball is so often known as, it's a long season, and so you build up the numbers and build the time, but when you have the production you have in 7, 8, 9 hitters, you're going to be able to make a run in the state tournament. When you look at AF, it is firepower, and it's the depth of firepower. As that one misses wide, and the count now 3 balls and no strikes. So the 3-0. That's in for a called strike. So the count now 3 balls and a strike. To Mac Bright. And now in called strike 2. Was once ball 3 is now strike 2. Full count, 1 out. And that one misses. Well, runners on first and second. As Bright earns his 3rd walk of the day. 1 official at bat for Mac Bright. And that'll bring up Owen Olson. And that one's up. Olson reached on a fielder's choice. Or pardon me. Wilson yet to reach today. Ran out to finish an inning back in the 5th, but always want the last one to be a good one. Baseball or golf, as that one's wide of the plate. The count now 2 balls and no strikes. So again, runners on first and second. The 2-0. Going to snap back to second base. That ball goes in the center, but no harm done. They were just daring him to run to third. That's what that was. And now the 2-0 misses inside, and the count now 3-0. Three balls and no strikes. And it misses up. A 4-pitch walk. As the bases are now loaded for Riverton. And that'll bring up Tristan Musgrove. And Tristan has been very, very good from the plate today. But AF's going to make some changes. So while they do that, we'll step aside. And we'll be right back. You're watching the Game Night Live Rewind Game of the Week. So they come out, talk to the pitcher, and that brings up Musgrove, as that is a called strike. Now, you just don't want things to get interesting if you're American Ford. Trying to get some young work, things like that, but Tristan Musgrove has been outstanding today as he's quickly finding himself in an 0-2 hole. Musgrove is 3 for 3 with 3 runs scored. Filling some big shoes at short. Parker Applegate. That ball foul back to the screen. He's got to shorten up that stroke, which he's done today. It's going to be a tough out. So now the 0-2. Getting the breaking ball, called strike 3. Oh, 2 away for Riverton. That brings up Josh Jacobs in the ball. Or pardon me, this is Hanson. That ball's going to fall in. That's a 1 run comes in. And a little station shifter there. Hanson makes a diving grab the top half of the inning and comes up with an RBI single there. And now coming to the plate for Riverton, it's going to be Pearsall. So Pearsall coming up, batting in place of Weston Curtis. Big shoes to fill. Curtis's bats today is first pitch strike. The 0-1 breaking ball misses. Evens the count on a ball and a strike. And now the 1-1. Breaking ball, strike 2. Riverton down to their final strike today. The 1-2 swung on, missed. Swinging third strike, going to be aboard first as a run comes in on the wild pitch. And the game stays alive. You're a big fly away from tying this thing up. The drop third strike and then the wild pitch. Keeps everything alive here. So to the top of the order we go, and Sam Beck. Beck yet to record a hit today. Reached on a fielder's choice last inning. That is a grand slam away to send us to extra innings. That ball's fouled to the screen. And now the 0-1 from Nielsen. Misses inside. Beck does have power. I do know that. The wind has died. The weather has improved throughout this game. The 1-1 breaking ball called strike 2. Same recipe as his last at bat. Fastball, breaking ball. As now he's got to shorten up with a 1-2 count. Goff on deck. Breaking ball chopped at the plate. And we'll do it again. Just staying alive for Sam Beck. Yeah, and you can make things very interesting. Ball to grass, score 2. And again, Goff would be coming up next. And going to the heart of the order. Let's do it again. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases loaded as Beck takes a timeout. And now the 1-2. Breaking ball missed. Was wide and stayed wide. That's one you're wanting him to chase, and Beck did not. So he was a count of 2-2. This ball hitting the right field. And that will do it. Sailing underneath it. And American Fork comes from behind to win this one. They were down 4-2. And come back to win this one 11-7 in the last 2 innings, putting up 9 runs to get the 11-7 win over Riverton in our first game of the week in our baseball coverage. Again, our final score, American Fork 11, Riverton 7, our Utah Army National Guard. Let's go players of the game. First, let's go to Riley Jensen mental performance of the game. It's going to come from Easton Welling in the 6th inning, down 4-2, along at bat. I believe it was about 10 or 11 pitches. Down 2, hits a 2 RBI triple to tie the game. And then we're going to go with the way they finished the day. And that's going to be Trey Roberts. Roberts with a 2 RBI double, giving AF the lead. And then came up again with a 2 RBI double in the 7th, when in the bottom of the 6th had a diving catch in right field, helping to hold off Riverton. Again, congratulations to American Fork on their win today, 11-7. Congratulations to our Utah Army National Guard player of the game, Trey Roberts, and our Riley Jensen mental performer of the game in Easton Welling. For Vince Francis, I'm Dusty Lister. Thanks for joining us and for watching a Game Night Live Rewind. Game of the Week on KSLSports.com.